Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Before we get started, please take a minute to click subscribe to my channel to keep up with all of my latest investing and personal finance content. And please visit the link you see on your screen for a message from our sponsor, The Motley Fool, where you can get the top 10 stocks to buy right now. All right, so two of the largest real estate stocks in the world are American Tower, ticker symbol AMT, and Crown Castle's ticker CCI. And these are both very similar in a lot of ways. They're both telecommunications infrastructure REITs. They own a lot of cell towers. They own related infrastructure assets. The names are kind of misleading. American Tower is a worldwide company, while Crown Castle used to be called Crown Castle International, but now they're just Crown Castle. They operate domestically, exclusively. So I'm here with my friend Tyler Crow, who knows a lot more about this industry. So Tyler, what are your thoughts about the two? What are you looking at? What should people know when they're trying to decide between the two?
Sure. I mean, in a way, it almost feels like picking nits because we're talking about two of the largest and two of the more lucrative real estate investment trusts out there. If by market cap, I believe, two of the five largest actually in this entire industry. American Tower, I do believe, is the largest. They both. The entire economics of the tower industry is pretty simple. They own the actual physical infrastructure that a telecommunications company is going to put their sending, receiving, signaling equipment on. The attractiveness of it and reason why it makes sense and why this industry has become such a boom is that for, say, for example, Verizon, it doesn't make sense for them to have their own tower and then for AT&T to have their own tower and then T-Mobile have their own tower, all within 100 feet of each other, and then trying to compete that way. When one company, one of these two REITs or some of the others that are in this space can just own the one and lease out space on the tower and have 3 or 4 or 5 tenants, and then all of a sudden the economics for it are quite good. Like you said, the big difference being American Tower is decidedly an international company. It's been something that they have been working on a lot over the past decade, is going into not only markets globally, but especially a lot of emerging markets, places where national telecom companies are they're starting to privatize a little bit. There's a little bit more competition entering the space, and companies that need to deploy a lot of capital to put in new signaling equipment to meet things like 4G, 5G, everything else in here between that. That's very capital intensive business. And so because of that, they need to free up capital. Great way to do that. Hey, we'll buy your towers off you, and all you have to do is sign a long-term lease. And it's been a very lucrative business for American Tower. Crown Castle has been interesting because they've tacked in a different growth trajectory where they're going to what's known as the small cell node and fiber business. They're really banking on, like here in the United States, the rapid adaptation of 5G and kind of the industries that's going to unlock. We're talking about things like autonomous driving, Internet of Things, edge computing, cloud computing, basically taking what would be like, say, the computing power on my phone and just moving it over to an edge computing computer. So I don't need as much processing capacity on my actual device. I just need to have a rapid connection to that remote location to do all of my processing. And Crown Castle is banking hard on that with these, not in the traditional sense of like the tower that you see that broadcasts for several kilometers, but a small cell node that may only broadcast for 500 feet, but is going to be able to rapidly increase the capacity at which it can send, receive signals, and basically handle the capacity that is we expect to happen with 5G.
So what's your kind of takeaway? If people want to know which stock to invest in, American Tower or Crown Castle, what would kind of your thoughts on that be?
I've been of the opinion that I think over the shorter term, let's say the next 5 to 7 years, I think that Crown Castle has a chance to do better because of the deployment of 5G is probably going to be a little bit more rapid than the global deployment of 4G and 5G. Crown Castle's really leaning into the United States, where adoption rates for these technologies has been much faster and higher penetration rates, whereas the penetration rates for data, cellular, phone loose in a lot of places where American Tower is going is a little bit slower. Having said that, I think over a much longer period, 20 to 30 years, I think that there is a foundation for American Tower to do better just simply because it has such a wider geographic diversity. And I think there is a lot of emerging market demographics and a lot of, a lot of what we've seen with the adaptation of mobile communications in the United States and developed markets is going to happen everywhere else. And American Tower is positioning itself to be the company in place to fix that or to serve that market.
Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.